Hello, I am going to talk to you a little bit today about the author and illustrator Eric Carle. He is known for his very first book he illustrated is called Brown Bear, What Do You See? Um, it was a piece of work that he collaborated with Bill Martin Jr. on. He was born in Syracuse, New York in 1929. He loved drawing as a young boy. At the age of 6, his immigrant family moved to Germany, and while living there, Carl learned German and studied at the Academy of Visual Arts. When Eric Carle was 15 years old, he dug trenches in the Siegfried Line with the German government. It wasn't really something that Carl likes to remember. It was not a good time in his life. But in 1952, he was able to move back to America, which was like his lifelong dream. He didn't have a whole lot of money. He became a graphic designer for the New York Times in the promotion department. After that, he enrolled in the U.S. Army and during the Korean War, and he worked as a mail clerk. He did this for many years, and then he became the art director of an advertising agency. This is when Bill Martin Jr. noticed his work and asked him to collaborate on this book, Brown Bear, What Do You See? The first book that Eric Carle did on his own was called 1, 2, 3 to the Zoo. And one of the most well-known pieces of work from Eric Carle is The Very Hungry Caterpillar. That was published in 1969, and it was translated into 65 different languages. Carle has illustrated and written over 70 books throughout his life, and in 2002 he founded the Eric Carle Museum of Picture Book Art, dedicated to children's book art. He did this with the help of his wife, Barbara Carle, and the museum is located in Massachusetts. Carle has a grown son and a grown daughter and currently resides in the Florida Keys. Carle's work is truly amazing to me. It's like so simple but so beautiful and detailed. He paints paper and then cuts it out into shapes, and that's how he makes his pictures, like his animals. He uses cut out paper, painted paper shapes to make them. So I have a couple of his books here. I have this one. It's called My Very First Book of Colors. I really like this one. My son, he's a year old, and we do this a lot. So you have to match the color of the item with the color on the page up here, and it tells you the color. So like for the lemon, we would find yellow, and it tells you. So I think this is a great interactive book to help kids learn their colors. Plus they can see the word and they can correlate it to an object. So this is one of my favorites for my son. I love the Brown Bear. That's a classic one. The one that I recently found that I have grown to fall in love with is this, My Very First Busy Book. In here you have a mirror so you can see yourself in it. So my son loves looking at that. And then you have a little hole in the book, and it starts off with shapes. Can you trace the shapes with your finger? So the outline of the shapes are kind of textured. There's like an indentation. So when a child uses their finger, they can feel it, so they know where to follow the lines. So they've got the diamond, square, triangle, star, and then the rectangle, which is where the mirror's at. And then it says, who is in that mirror? So the next page is colors. So you have yellow for the sun. You have this heart, but they also have cool textures. This heart is kind of like squishy. The blue, the turtle has a like alligatory texture to it. And the purple butterfly, it's like, it has textured and it's kind of glittery. I don't know if you can tell. Next page is numbers. So again, there's indentations in the numbers, so you can use your finger and follow along. So can you count along, trace the numbers with your fingers? Then this one is animals. Which animal has bumpy skin? So it wants you to find the animal with bumpy skin. So this one's really cool because it's furry here. We've got shiny spots on the fish. And then you've got the elephant ear. So it has a cool texture. And then it says, can you find the animal with a fuzzy mane? Where did the frog go? So we're looking for the frog. We don't know where the frog is at. Well, then you go to the sounds. So you have hiss, ooh ooh ah ah, woof woof, cock-a-doodle-doo. A horse says neigh. What sounds do the other animals make? Ribbit, ribbit, meow. And then there's little mouse, squeak, squeak. I think this is just a great book for little ones to learn. I know it's not really school aged, but it's before that, which is very important for young learners to start out at a very, very young age. So that's probably my favorite book of his. I just love the colors. I love what it's teaching you. I just love his work. So overall, I think that Eric Carle, he's a great author. And illustrator. He does amazing work. So an activity that I would do to go along with this, I would have the kids paint paper, like some heavy duty paper, using different brush strokes and different textures and different colors. I would let it dry for a few days, and then I, the teacher, would cut the colors, the painted paper, out into different shapes, and then put them into little tubs sorted by color. This is how Eric Carle did his work. He sorted it out into little drawers, and each drawer had the same color in it. So then I would have students pick an animal, and they would pick out their shapes and their colors, and they would make the animal out of the paper. They could then maybe write a story about their animal if they wanted to, and I thought maybe just for fun, if you do it around Mother's Day, which happens to be around this time, you could make very nice color printed photos of all of the students' works, and then you can compile them into a book, and then each student can give the book to their mom for Mother's Day. But I think that would be kind of fun to do, and I would recommend Eric Carle as an author and illustrator to add to your collection of books.